dance. The very name conjures up images of beauty, movement, costume, color. And classical dance, well, that's a world in itself. Bharatanatyam, my chosen area of expertise, is one amongst the 8 classical dance traditions of India. From its very beginnings in the interior temple towns of the southern state of Tamil Nadu, the dance has seen a tremendous change in terms of form, content, music, costuming, and of course, the proscenium or the space in which the dance is performed. From then on to now, as I said, this journey has not been easy, it's not been comfortable, and several practitioners of the dance have contributed to it in their own very special way. Before I embark further onto a little broad history of the dance, I want to show you in classical dance tradition how I am feeling this afternoon to be here with you all. And I want you to, in your own way, interpret what I'm saying. It's not difficult. Please try. Was that easy? Could you understand? With you all, I am delighted to be together this afternoon with all you wonderful people. The dance of Bharatanatyam is a world in itself of beautiful hasta mudras and shows man's very close contact with the world around him. This intrinsic bond of man and nature finds perfect elucidation in the art of Bharatanatyam. Be it the sun, the moon, the 9 planets, the beautiful flowers, the bees, the trees, the entwining creepers, the frisky deer, the mighty elephant, the snake, the rivulets, or the ocean. You can describe just about anything using the language of your hands and the face. The form of Bharatanatyam grew and developed, as I said, in the temple towns of South India with stunning architecture, sculpture, and of course, a very deep sense of bhakti or devotion to God. I've often heard when I go on performances, people asking me, what do you do? There was a time when people would ask, oh, so what do you do? And I would say, well, I'm a dancer. They would say, wo to theek hai, but what do you do? And I would say, I am a dancer. Oh, but what do you do for a living? I said, I do dance for a life. It's not just to eat, it's not my bread and butter, but it's something that I do to satiate the soul deep within. The concepts are changing, the world is changing, and the perception towards our classical dance is changing as well, which is actually a very heartening feature to note because there are a lot of youngsters now taking up classical dance and they feel the magic of the dance as opposed to the very transient pleasure that other forms of movement can give. The reason behind this is this very, very strong formal training that the dancer needs to undergo before embarking on a journey of performance and communication. In this age and generation, when I feel that it is an era of instant gratification, there's instant coffee, there's capo noodles, there's Facebook, you want everything instantly. But dance, the beauty of the classical, is like old wine. It's been mellowed and simmered for years in barrels which are full of literature, poetry, music, movement, architecture, sculpture, and what have you. The audience, the role of the audience is very important in this exchange of rasa, as what we call it, the theory of the aesthetic. And how does that work when the audience, whether initiated or uninitiated, please never think that you are not important because you don't know classical dance. It is because of the vibes that I get from my audience that the process of creation, of churning, of thinking, of bringing out something from deep within actually starts working. And this relationship that we share is not only strong, but timeless. You will notice in performances as the stories unfold, there is a very deep sense of identity that we all feel with the performer. Why is it that when a great actor comes up on stage doing his role, if it's a scene of intense tragedy, you actually weep, you cry? And dance is very similar to that. I want to, in this context, demonstrate a short piece for you to show how dance speaks a universal language, which is away from boundaries, gender, caste, geographical restrictions. We all know what happens when men forget a special day in the life of their beloveds. I don't want to elaborate on that further. And Krishna is no different. He had promised to be with his beloved Radha, but has obviously forgotten that and has been dallying with the other gopis, having fun like most men do. And here Radha, waiting for him, is distraught when he doesn't turn up at the appointed time. When finally he arrives, she is angry, angry to say the least. And here, our magical flute player doesn't know how to get out of this situation and what to do. So in true male sense, he says, "Come, you beauty. You are so beautiful. Please, listen to me." She is not the one to be appeased so easily. For no fault of mine, why are you hurling accusations which are so hurtful to my ears? Do you even know what I was doing last whole night? And then the story unfolds. In today's context, it's very easy to follow that. I'm with my secretary. I will call you later. So look at the kind of ways in which we can make these links. It's not that dance comes out of space or out of a very a world that you can't understand. It's a world very much where we all are part of it, because the 9 emotions, the navarasas, the way we use our hands, even in class when 2 boys want to talk, they say. So you're all the time using abhinaya. As human beings, we are born to dance. We are born to use the face. We are born. The only thing is that in classical dance, we use it through a very stylized vocabulary, a very stylized dictionary of hand gestures, which we call hasta mudras, different mudras portraying different things. A very simple movement, all of you can in fact do it. It's a gesture that we call pataka. The word pataka itself means the flag. Look at the multiple significances or the meanings that this very simple hand gesture uses. Please keep quiet. I don't want to hear you. You may get up and move out of the door. Please come here. Look at the softness, because it's all on the face. I don't have a lapel mic during a performance saying, please come here. So it has to come out through the mukhabhinaya, through the bhavabhinaya. The lovely clouds, the flowing river, the movement of a horse, killing of the demon, shutting the door. Look at the multiple, as I said, meanings behind one very simple hand gesture, which we use so often every day. The piece unfolds by Krishna saying, do you even know why my lips are so broken and dry? It was because the whole night, I was sitting and saying the mantras of Lord Shiva. My eyes are heavy with sleep because the whole night I was ringing the bell, deeply lost in prayer. Now look at this, even when you hear his cock and bull story, it evokes laughter because we all know the background of Krishna. We know that he is a trickster, a prankster who had his dalliance with the other gopis, a full, very handsome playboy. And here Radha is the one who is angry, upset, and yet at the end, in true Bollywood style, gives in to Krishna. It is not that contemporary themes and issues which are very topical to all of us in the 21st century cannot be depicted using Bharatanatyam. We have done some very lovely pieces talking about global warming, the scorching sun, the trees which have withered, the earth which once was sprouting green leaves has now become barren, weak, broken, and dry. The animals have no water bodies to turn to. They wait hopelessly for the rain and die. Look how subtle, how suggestive the Hasta Mudras are. Even in characterization that we bring onto stage, the key word is subtlety. Notice the way the body, as I said, moves in a very stylized manner. And the Bharatanatyam dance repertoire is replete with poetry, choreography, and music that bring alive characters, that bring alive situations, that bring alive emotions that each one of us in the audience feels intensely. It was my mother and guru way back in the 80s who was living in Delhi and suddenly felt that there is a disconnect that my audience feels with me when I'm performing because they can't understand Tamil or Telugu. So can I explore, can I move into the unknown? Can I explore poetry of Vidyapati, Meera, Surdas ji, Kabir, Tulsidas ji, and use their poetic works to sort of widen the repertoire of Bharatanatyam, number one, and the second also to include my audience with me in this artistic experience. A little sneak peek into, as I said, the creative mind or the inscape of the dancer through this particular composition of the poet Vidyapati.
Sun sun sundare kar avadhana, sun sun sundare kar avadhana, sun sun sundare kar avadhana, binu aparadh kahsi kahe aana, binu aparadh kahsi kahe aana, sun sun sundare kar avadhana, binu aparadh kahsi kahe aana, sun sun sundare kar avadhana, binu aparadh kahsi kahe aana, sun sun sundare kar avadhana, binu aparadh kahsi kahe aana, sun sun sundare kar avadhana. बिनु अपराध, बिनु अपराध, बिनु अपराध कहसी काहे आन, सुन सुन सुंदरी कर अवधान, सुन सुन सुंदरी कर अवधान, कर पूजलो पशुपति जामिनी जागे, पूजलो पशुपति जामिनी जागे, पूजलो पशुपति जामिनी जागे, गमन विलंब भेल तेहि लागे, गमन विलंब भेल तेहि लागे, गमन विलंब भेल तेहि लागे, लागल मृग मद कुंकुम दाग, लागल मृग मद कुंकुम दाग, लागल मृग मद कुंकुम दाग, उच्चरित मंत्र अधर नहीं राग, उच्चरित मंत्र अधर नहीं राग, सुन सुन सुंदरी कर अवधान, बिनु अपराध कहसी काहे आन, सुन सुन सुंदरी कर अवधान, कर अवधान, रजनी उजागर लोचन घोर, रजनी उजागर लोचन घोर, रजनी उजागर लोचन घोर, ताहि लागी तोहे मोहे बोलसी चोर, ताहि लागी तोहे मोहे बोलसी चोर, नभ कवि शेखर की कहब तोये, नव कवि शेखर की कहब तोये, शपथ कर है तब परतित हो पथ करह तब परतीत होए सुन सुन सुंदरी कर अवधान बिनु अपराध कह से काहे यार सुन सुन सुंदरी कर अवधान
Art and life are so intrinsically linked. They are two sides of the same coin. One draws inspiration from the other and gives back what you are in your life. You put back into the art and you take those moments of creativity and pleasure from your artistic experience and drown your life with that. I want to say that the relevance of all this in today's times is very telling because, as I said, dance is extremely cathartic. You have to invest a lot of yourself into the art in order for the art to one day give it back to you. Namaskar.